You can support this channel by making goldsilver.com your bullion dealer. We have a price match guarantee, free shipping, experts on getting gold and silver in your IRA, global storage options, and an exclusive insiders program.
How far away are we from what?
Like changing the reserve currency.
Okay.
And like what extremes do you think the U.S. would take to maintain that status?
Well, I think that the reserve currency for central banks in the next big crisis, which I'm getting a feeling might be like a two-stage crisis where there's an initial crash and they do a whole bunch of hocus pocus and everybody thinks it's fine, and then along comes this big rig truck out of the fog and crashes into the rest. You've heard of pileups in the fog where one car hits another, everybody gets out, everybody's okay, and then along comes a big rig truck out of the fog and smashes into everything. I think that I'm getting a feeling that something like that may happen, in that it'll be a two-stage crash. But in whether it's one or two, I think that you're going to see the world's central banks. They've set up a system where the IMF gives each central bank a quota of SDRs, and then they can buy or sell SDRs between each other. If they buy them from another bank, they pay interest to that central bank, and if the bank that sells them is charging interest, and so it's just a currency to use between themselves. But that's a reserve, and I think that will, the dollar will lose its reserve currency status soon, within the next 4 or 5 years. But it isn't just reserve currency status. When we went off of Bretton Woods, before we did that, Henry Kissinger went to Saudi Arabia and got an agreement that oil would always be bought and sold in dollars. And then the SWIFT system of international wire transfers, when that was set up, it was set up so that it only used US dollars. So when somebody if a car dealer in Mexico sold a Mercedes and wanted to order a replacement, their bank would wire pesos and convert the pesos into dollars, wire the dollars to Mercedes, who then their bank converts it to euros. So that dollar is used as the intermediary all over the world, and that meant that about half of the dollars that exist were not in the US border, which was a great deal for us, because as we dilute the currency supply, we're diluting the currency. When we do inflation, it's not just in the United States. It also robs purchasing power. So we had a tax on the entire rest of the planet, and we stole a little bit of purchasing power from them without them seeing. And it went on from 1944 until now, and it's because we started doing these enormous abuses of the system. And that started, Bush passed Medicare Part D. And then the big, huge deficits, and then Obama took over and expanded that by a factor of 10, and there just doesn't seem to be any end to this. But other countries are starting to wise up, and they know that this is a scam. There's a wonderful piece in the next episode to come out of Hidden Secrets of Money that Rick Rule talks about how the dollar is the worst currency in the world, except all the rest of them. But if you're going to trade in a lie, it should be a liquid lie, something that you can buy and sell easily. And he talks about how we get this great deal. We print these lies, and we send them to Germany, and they send us a Mercedes. We print more lies, we send them to Japan, they send us a stereo. So it's been a great ride, but it's coming to an end. And there's usually some chaos that goes on with these transitions. Most of the transitions have been felt by the big banks and countries, big international organizations, because exchange rates change and so on. But the other transitions, from the classical gold standard to the gold exchange standard to the Bretton Woods system to the dollar standard, were baby steps off of full gold backing, 40% gold backing, an unspecified amount of gold backing, no gold backing. Now, everybody either accepts another scam currency with nothing backing it, But if it doesn't work, they'll have to go back to what worked, and that was gold and silver. And if they do, everybody on the planet is going to feel it. There will be people that become incredibly wealthy off of this, and other people that become broke because it's a wealth transfer that occurs.